Okay, those of you that don't know me, that are joining us for the first time, my name is James from Varsity Unlimited Tutors. So I am a private tutor who specializes in assisting students with their education. So last semester, we managed to do microeconomics and business finance and managerial, advanced management principles, and then understanding marketing that we did last semester. And my hope is that everyone passed and sailed through. If there's anyone when the results come who has not made it or who did not pass, please give me a call. I do offer very, very huge discounts for those that did not pass to just try to help you make sure that you pass through. That is, if you did not pass by any way. But I expect all of you guys to have gone through successfully. All right. So now that we are now looking at our second semester, I just wanted to highlight a couple of things so that those that still need my assistance in the second semester know what to expect, and then they know how to navigate so that by the time we do what we need to do, everything is in order. All right, so we are going to be facing the same issues that we faced in the first semester. You have got 3 assessments for each module that you are taking. You have got your case study, you have got your KCQ, and you have got your online summative assessment. Your case study, just as usual, it's usually an essay type question where you are expected to answer it usually in about 2,000 words, and you're supposed to do referencing and etc. And then your quiz is going to be multiple choice questions, the same like we did last semester. And then the exam will come at the end of the semester. Again, it will be 8 hours from 8 a.m. up to 4 p.m. However, on the exam, although there is no official word yet, there is always a chance that they can introduce a bit of invigilation because Amancosa, starting from the 10th of July, there were some modules that they were invigilating for postgrad students. So for you guys, they have not yet introduced invigilation. So I don't think there will be invigilation, but it's just something that you have to keep at the back of your mind that they might start introducing invigilation and all of those sort of things. But it's something that we can discuss later on as we go towards the end of the semester after we know the official position from the university. Right. In terms of the key dates that you are going to be expecting to submit your assignments, so for now, July and August, there are no assignments that need to be submitted. But in September, starting from the 5th of September, you've got your case study assignments, that is 5 September, 10 September, 17, 23, and 27 September. Then also within the month of September, that is for the first 3 weeks, we also have got the quiz, that is the KCQ. Then our exams will be in November, early November from the 6th up until 21 November. That is when we are going to be doing exams. Right, so that's in terms of what Mancosa expects from you. As usual, you're expected to get at least 50% in each and every assessment that you do. So at least 50% in your KCQ, 50% in your case study, 50% in your exam for you to have passed the module. Right. Then in terms of us as Varsity Unlimited tutors, what can you expect from us for those that will be joining us? So again, there are 2 packages that we offer. The first package is the main one, which is the lessons. So when you join the lessons, the cost is going to be 800 Rand per module. That will be the cost. And for that, you are going to be getting the KCQ guidance sessions where we go through the KCQ together. And also, after we are done with the lesson, remember, I'll send you a PDF document, I'll send you a video that you can also use when you're doing your KCQ. Then we are also going to offer you assignment guidelines, just like we did last semester, where we have 1 lecture or 2 lectures which focus specifically on teaching you what to do in that specific assignment. Then after those lectures are done, you're going to also get the notes for those lectures, i.e. that is the assignment guidance, which you can then paraphrase, rewrite in your own words, and etc. to make it your own. Again, whenever we do this, like we said last semester, please be mindful of plagiarism. Do not take the work that we have given you and submit it as it is. Please be mindful of plagiarism. You need to do your own work. You need to rewrite. You need to do whatever you need to do to make sure that it is unique. But the guidance will be provided to you in the form of those classes and in the form of a solution that we'll send at the end of the what? At the end of the classes. Then as we go throughout the semester, we'll also go through your study guide, go through various sessions of your study guide, and towards the end of the semester, we are going to do exam preparatory classes. We are going to do exam preparatory classes. Now, there are two issues here. We have a timetable. So Mondays, every Monday, we'll be doing statistical technique. Tuesdays, we'll be doing information management. Wednesdays, we'll be doing operations management. Thursdays, we are doing project management. And then Sundays, we are doing ethical business management. So those are the dates. So you can see that there are 5 modules. I know that you do 4 modules, but you have to choose the modules that you are doing. Some of you chose operations, some project management, some ethical. So it just depends with the modules that you have chosen, but just take note of those dates specifically for the modules that you chose yourself. Then secondly, the timetable for the KCQ class. So the KCQ class, we are going to do it between 3 September and most likely 12 September. So between 3 September and 12 September, that is when we'll be doing the KCQs in the classes. Then for the assignments are going to be done in August. All the assignments, we are going to try to cover them in August. So some of them will start mid-August, somewhere around the 10th of August. We should be starting, I think operations will be somewhere around that period, and then project management maybe around the 15th, then statistical techniques maybe around the something like that. But I will provide you a timetable of the exact dates we are going to do the assignments and the exact dates we are going to do the KCQs, but that timetable will be available in August once we start. Once we've covered a little bit of ground, we are going to provide you that timetable so that you do not miss those specific lessons. So for now, for this week and the next week, we are going to be looking at just introducing the module guides. We're just going to be introducing, looking at unit number 1, looking at what we'll be learning throughout the semester and etc. So because of that, this anything that happens this week and anything that happens next week, those will be free classes. But as we get into the month of August, please make sure that you have made your deposits. If you don't have the deposit and you want to talk to me, my number is available. I know I was not available during the last couple of days. I was just trying to give it a bit of a rest, but my number will be available for the next week. You can talk to me and then we can make arrangements in terms of when you are going to be paying your deposits and etc. so that you don't miss classes. So please do not miss the free classes. They're good for you because they will just give you a basic introduction of what we want to do. And also don't miss any of the classes that you can attend. If you miss a class like usual, make sure that you watch the video. Now, for this semester, unfortunately, you will not have me as your tutor for these modules because these are not my specialties. You are going to have my friend, my friend and partner, Mr. Kudakwashe Svanda, Mr. KD. He's going to be taking you through statistical techniques and information management. So he is my operations manager at Varsity Unlimited Tutors. So if you have got any problems that you are facing and etc. during any of the classes, feel free to highlight it to him. He will also highlight it to me. But I will still be in all of the groups. I'll still be in all of the groups. We'll still chat. I'll still be on the phone. Whenever there is any problems, do not be afraid to give me a call. I'm aware of what is happening. I'll be there on the ground, but it's just that I do not teach. and these specific modules. So Mr. KD will be taking you for statistical techniques and information management, those two modules. He's going to introduce himself later tonight. And then operations management, you're going to have Mr. Innocent. You're going to see him next week on Wednesday. That will be his first class. Then project management, you're going to have Sandy. Sandy, you will see him on Thursday. And then ethical business management, you're going to have Susan. I believe you already know Susan from your advanced management principles. So those are going to be the people that will be taking you through the modules. But like I said, I'm still available for any questions that you have, any assistance that you need. Feel free to always be able to give me a call or post in the message. You can just tag me in the groups. I will still be there. I'll be monitoring the groups and etc. on behalf of Mr. KD and the team that he is leading this semester. Right. So that's in terms of our lectures. Right. So in brief, statistical techniques, it's like mathematics. You're going to be doing a lot of calculations and etc. Mr. KD will explain. Information management, this is IT. This is IT, you're learning about computers. Operations management is double-edged. There are calculations in operations management, and also there is a lot of theory in operations management. I think this is one of those modules that can be a little bit taxing or can be a little bit difficult out of all of these ones because of the combination of both the calculations and the theory. Project management, there is not a lot of calculations, just a few calculations, but it's a technical module, which means you really need to pay attention. You cannot guesswork it. Ethical business management is basically theory. There are no calculations in that one. It's just basically a lot of theory and etc. I'm sure you will enjoy your experience with Susan on that one. Even all of the other modules, I'm sure you will enjoy your experience. It's just that take note, I think operations management, you might really need to pay attention because it's a lot of theory and also there are a number of calculations that need to be performed in that specific module. So before I introduce you guys to Mr. KD, who's going to be leading the team for this semester, are there any questions for me? Are there any questions for me before I introduce you to Mr. KD?
None on my side. Thank you, James.
All right, that's wonderful. Okay, so Mr. KD, Zakiti, your question, Zakiti?
Hi, James. How are you? And hi, team. James, I don't remember choosing the module. Like, as you said, it's either you are doing project management and what? I don't remember choosing, honestly. Did they choose for you if you didn't choose?
I think it's possible that maybe they chose for you if you did not choose yourself. But what you can do is you can always change it. I believe you can contact the administrators at Mancosa. If there's something that you don't like, you can always contact them and see if you can change the modules. That is, if you don't like the ones that they chose for you. But I believe if you did not choose for yourself, then most likely maybe they chose for you. But there are 5 modules in your second semester, and you're only doing 4 out of the 5. Okay. Mr. Kaidi?
Yes, Mr. James, how are you?
I'm quite well. All right. I think it's over to you. You can introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. A pleasant evening to each and every one of you. And thank you, for tuning in for this introductory lesson. My name is Kuda, or you can call me KD for short. So I'm going to be taking 2 modules, right? Like Mr. James had highlighted. I'm going to be taking information management, and also I will be taking statistical techniques. So I just wanted to give you an overview today. Don't worry, we are not going to go much into detail. I think next week I will do a proper introductory on on each of the modules. So today I'm just going to combine and give you an overview so that at least you can have an idea of how I do conduct my lectures. So my lectures generally, they are very, very interactive. You know, you can feel free to participate. If you've got a question, you don't have to wait for the end of the lecture, you know, to maybe let's say ask if you don't understand. You can unmute at any point during the lecture so that we can move together. All right, so let me just give a brief intro of both modules. All right, so like I highlighted before, I'm going to be covering information management and statistical techniques. All right, so this will be an introductory lecture. So I'm going to start with information management. So basically, what you need to understand about information management is this is an IT-based module. So even if you don't have an expertise or maybe let's say knowledge about IT, you don't have to worry because I'm going to take you through the basics, right? And one good part about this module is it's very relatable. So what I'll be doing is I'll be giving you a lot of real life examples, right? So that you are able to catch and grasp some of these concepts. So basically, when you're talking about information management, you're talking about how information is managed in an organization. So you will see that one of the tools or technologies that are used by companies to manage information is what we call information systems, right? So this can be a variety of systems. So just to name a few, payroll systems, human resource information systems and so forth. So these are like softwares, right, that are used in companies to make sure that, they assist people in day-to-day operation in terms of managing, the information that they, let's say, receive or they can produce as a company. So this module basically, that's what it is focusing on. So it teaches you on the basics of information systems and how these information systems are used to manage the information, right, of that organization. So there are 12 units in this module, right? So the layout of the lectures there, of my slide there, that basically that is how I present the information management slides. So I'll try to put like an illustration, just trying to, for you maybe just to see what we're talking about, and then I'll be explaining some important questions. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to take you through each and every unit, right? I'm going to take you each and every unit, and I'm going to take you through each sub-unit for this course. So you don't have to worry. I'm going to thoroughly explain what is in the study guide so that you guys, when you go, maybe let's say for the assignment, of course, we're going to cover that. I'm going to assist you guys with that. And also for the final examination, you will be covered. So like I was saying, there are 12 units, right, for this module. And the first 2 units, basically, they're talking about what we call business information systems. So generally now, this is more like an introductory unit, right, for the whole module, where they're talking about the importance, right, of information systems in business and also career opportunities, right, that are there in business that are also related to information systems. Then unit 2, it talks about global e-business collaboration, right? How now collaboration, because remember, we're living in a 4th industrial revolution age, or the digital age, where everything is connected to what we call a global village, right? So now, because of this global village, there's something called global e-business, meaning internet. So now people can do business online, right? People, they can collaborate online. A very good example is the social medias, right? So you can see that Facebook is a global village. You can communicate, you can be in touch with people that you have never met before, right? So that's the same thing. It's just collaboration. So basically what we're talking about in this unit is we're talking about technologies that are in IT that are used, right, to make a global impact for the business, let's say globalization, and also tools that can be used for collaboration. Let's say if a company has got, let's say, many branches and they want to collaborate, or maybe some other people within the industry that they want to collaborate with. So there are technologies that are used in business for that. Now, then there's unit 3 and unit 9. So what I did in these slides is I tried to group them based on things that are related, right? So there's something in your module that talks about leveraging information systems for what we call competitive advantage. So basically, as a company, all right, it is always every company's dream that they be the leader in the industry, right? So now you will see that one of the things that are used by companies, right, to stay ahead of the competitors is information systems. So that's why we're saying leveraging or using information systems for competitive advantage. So unit 3 now, it will talk about what we call achieving this competitive advantage using information systems. So you're using softwares. Remember, I told you information systems, these are just softwares that are used in companies. So now we'll be talking about the strategies that companies use for gaining a competitive advantage. And they also will be giving you examples of real life situations that relate to these things. Then unit 9 now, in relation to that, it talks about what we call achieving operational excellence and customer intimacy. Because one of the things that is needed for you to stay ahead of your competitors is when you are excellent in whatever you're doing, right? And also you've got a good relationship with the customers. So then now we are talking about enhancing operational efficiency and building of customer relationships, and also some systems that are related to those things. Then there is a section within the module that talks about ethical, social, and security considerations. So that will be your unit 4 and your unit 8. So unit 4 talks about what we call ethical and social issues in information systems. That's why you see even nowadays when you are on these platforms, right, there are some unethical things that people start to complain, hey, this is not ethical, you know, things like that. So there are ethical and social issues also, right, that are related to using information systems. So those are the things that we'll be talking about in unit number 4. Then unit 8, now we're talking about the security in general, right? Whenever people are using information systems, right, there is a possibility that, you know, there might be information that can be leaked, there might be hackers that might come through. So now we are talking about how do we secure information systems. We're talking about the method that are out there that companies are using to secure information systems. Because remember, some of the information within these softwares, they're very, 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 very sensitive. Right? Nowadays, you can hear this issue like, hey, this person that we're working at this company is a whistleblower. They took information and then they made it public. So companies now, they need to secure certain sensitive information so that, you know, people don't have access to that. So that's what we'll be talking about in unit 8, securing those information systems. Then there's what we call infrastructure essential, right? So there's what we call the IT infrastructure. So for you to be able to use a software, right, remember you need a computer. So a software is installed in a computer, and that computer needs to be connected to the internet, right? So you can see that now these are a number of components that are working together in order for you to be using the software. So that's what we are talking about in that unit. That's what we'll be talking about in that unit. So we are going to tell you that, you know, infrastructure is divided into 2. What we call hardware and what we call software. The hardware component of the IT infrastructure is something that you can touch with your hands, like a screen. You can touch your screen, your monitor. You can touch your mouse. You can touch your keyboard. That is the hardware of the IT infrastructure. But when we go to software now, that's where we are talking about the applications, right, that are within a computer. And we are going to tell you that there are 2 types of software application. So we're going to be digging deeper now for you to understand this concept, right? Then we are also going to be talking about what we call business intelligence and data management. Remember, now we are living in an age of AI, right? Where there's what we call data analytics, right? Where now people are also using AI to gather data, and there are also people that are dedicated, right, to try, to analyze data. So this data sometimes that is mined, or data that is, gathered to be analyzed, it can be used for an advantage of what we call business intelligence, right? So now Unit 6, it talks about the foundations of business intelligence, where we are talking about technologies that are used, right, in business intelligence. Because remember, if you're going to gather data to analyze it, you need to store it in a database. You need to store it in a warehouse. So those are the foundations of business intelligence, the things that are needed for a company in order to leverage these things to have a competitive advantage, right, ahead of their competitors. So these business intelligence tools now, that's what we'll be talking about in Unit 6. Then Unit 11 now, it talks about improving decision-making and managing knowledge. So here now, sometimes we are talking about how information systems can be used by companies to improve when they're making decisions. Because remember, a person, they can make a decision, but they can make a mistake. But like what I was telling you, we are living in an age of AI. So there are systems out there that are used to help managers, right, to improve their decisions when they are making decisions out there. Then there's what we call telecommunications and e-commerce. Now, when you're talking about telecommunications, I think you can see from the picture there, it's talking about 5G. So we are talking about connectivity. Remember, back then we started with 2G, which is edge. Then we went to 3G, right? Then we went to 4G. Now we are in 5G. Most likely, I think companies maybe like China or Russia, I won't be shocked if we hear that they are already in 6G, right? Because, okay, for people that don't understand what maybe 4G or 5G is, basically it's how fast internet is. So if someone is using 4G, right, it might take you a while to download a 1 gig file. But if you are using 5G, it might take you seconds. So if you are using now 6G, it means it might take you maybe microseconds, right? So that's what we will be talking about in telecommunications. We're talking about now technologies that are used, right, for internet connectivity. For some of you that didn't know, what you call internet, it's actually the communication of computers, right? When you are saying www.google.com, you are actually communicating with a computer that is at Google. A very good example of this, was it's all under telecommunications, right? A very good example of this is what happened in 2021, right? There was a time, I think around this time, you couldn't access Google, you couldn't access YouTube, you couldn't access Gmail, you couldn't access anything related to Google. I think their computers were down. I don't know whether they were hacked or what, but anything that was related to Google, you couldn't access. But yet you could go on Facebook, you could go on Twitter, you could go on TikTok. The reason being is the Google has got computers that have got information that you are accessing, from them. So once their computers are down, you are not able to connect to them. So we will be talking those things in detail, talking about, network and internet and things like that under telecommunications. Then in Unit 10, we will be talking about e-commerce, right? Now, e-commerce, a very good example of e-commerce is a lot of people nowadays, they are buying their things on Take-A-Lot. They're buying their things on Temu. They're buying their things on Shein. They're buying their things. Recently, Amazon was launched in South Africa. So that is e-commerce. So now you can buy things without going to a traditional shopping market or a store, right? You just shop, right, in the comfort of your home, and then the things are delivered there. So there are also information systems that are used to drive this e-commerce, digital markets, and digital goods. So that's what we'll be talking about. So we'll be talking about the evolution of e-commerce. We'll be talking about these digital markets and these digital goods characteristics, right? Then, okay. Then the last unit now, we'll be talking about building and managing information system. So now this module, right, is trying to tell you that when you are using a software like Zoom right now we are using a software, someone had to make that software. So in this unit, they're trying to tell you the steps in which these softwares are developed, right? So they will be telling you that there's this method that can be used to develop a software. This is a method that can be used to develop a software. This is another method that can be used to develop a software that companies use in real life. And then also now this unit will intertwine with project management. Remember, there's a course in project management that you're going to do, because whenever you are building a software, it's a project in general. So here also we'll be giving you some other, project management practices that are done, right? So this will be more like a recap, because remember, you are already doing a module in project management. Then when we are done with unit 12, we'll be done with information management. So like I said, I'm going to be taking you this module sub-unit by sub-unit. So we'll really I'll thoroughly explain this module, giving you real life examples like what I was doing already. I was trying even to give you real life examples so that you can relate. So that's what we'll be doing, all those lectures that we will be having for information management. All right. Then now, like I said, I'm not only taking you information for information management, but I'll also be taking you for statistical techniques. Now, let me put a disclaimer. Don't worry even if you don't have background for statistics, right? Because we know that some of our clients, when they come through, they don't have, this knowledge. So don't worry, right? I know some people like, mates, and they'll be like, try to run away, right? No, don't worry. This is a module that will try to simplify it. Even for those that maybe did not do statistics at all, you'll still be able to relate. Now, this module, it has, I think, around 7 units, right? So unit number 1, what we're going to do is we are going to introduce to you, right, business statistics, what it is. Why do you need business statistics? So maybe you didn't know. I think you are even using statistics at your workplace and you don't even know, right? As long as you are working with numbers at your workplace, when you're doing like averages, or you're doing forecasting, or you're doing regression and things like that, right? You are using statistics. So basically, we are going to be explaining, right, what is it and why is it needed in business. So don't worry, we are not going to go deep into statistics, because this is business stats, right? It's statistics that are related to business. All right. So the second unit now, it talks about the type of data, right? So in this module, we'll try to tell you that data is divided into 2 categories, right? Data which is numerical and data which is categorical. Like, for example, data which is numerical, if I ask you what is your weight, right? But like my weight is like 62 kg. That is a numerical data. So it's classified as quantitative. Then qualitative now, if I ask you what is your gender, you won't give me a numerical value. You give me a label. If I ask you what is your marital status, you won't give me a value. You're going to give me a label, right? So that is qualitative data. So we're going to show you these types of different data that are used in statistics. And then also we're going to show you what we call levels of measurement, right? So I'm not going to go deep now, but we're going to explain those things later on. All right. So now, the next unit, so unit 1 and 2, this will just be introductory. So we won't go much into calculations. Actually, there are no calculations. Calculations will start on Unit 3. Now, the good part about this module is later, when we are now preparing for the exam, I'm going to show you some tools that will help you, especially say in an exam, right? Because you know your exam, it is multiple choice, and you know sometimes people be like, will we have enough time to do those calculations and so forth? So I'm going to be giving you some hints, and some also I'm going to give you online tools that you're going to use that will help you in this module. And also, you know, I'll be using a lot of Excel to make your life easier. So that's why, you know, at the end of this module, when we are now preparing for the exams, that's where I'm going to be giving you, you know, these tips. So Unit 3 now, that's where we'll start the calculations. Where we'll do like measures of central tendency, you know, measures of dispersion. So an example of measure of central tendency, that's your average. When you're calculating an average, that's what we'll be doing here. And also measure of dispersion, like standard deviation. I think most of you guys, you know what standard deviation is. That's what also we'll be calculating in this unit there. So don't worry, I'm going to take you step by step. Then Unit 4, it talks about probability, right? When we're talking about probability, it's the likelihood of how something is going to happen. Like, for example, if I can ask you a question, what is the probability that the sun is going to rise from the east tomorrow? You say the probability is 1, right? Because the sun always rises from the what? The east. So we are going to be showing you, you know, some how you can calculate probability, right? So in this case, you know, there are 2 types of distributions of probability that we're going to be talking about, which is normal and binomial. So for now, don't worry, we are going to talk about them in detail in the coming lectures. Then Unit 5, it talks about what we call index numbers, right? I think for you guys that likes, I think you guys will do economics, so you might know what an index number is. So like, you know, these index numbers are values that show how an economic variable is performing. Like maybe some of you guys who are into Forex, some of you guys who are into crypto, right? Maybe you'll be like, crypto is up, you know, or it's down, or be like, trading, you know, the shares are up and things like that. So here we'll actually be calculating what we call index number that indicate how these variables will be performing based on how also the economy will be performing. Then the last unit will be Unit 7. Okay. All right. I think I skipped Unit 6 here. Unit 6 will be talking about linear regression, right? So linear regression, we are just talking about you just want to see the relationship between 2 variables. Like, for example, we know that there's always a relationship between sales and profit, right? So the more you have more sales, right, the more profit you make. But now regression, what it does is it will give you a mathematical summary. That's the good part of that unit. It will actually give you a mathematical summary. So there are stages that you go through and things that you calculate, and then you can actually say, okay, so our profit is determined by this equation. So the equation will actually tell you that, okay, so if we have so much of sales, we can get so much of this profit. If we can get so much of these sales, we can actually get so much of this profit. So you can actually determine the relationship between 2 variables using what we call regression. Then now Unit 7, which is the last one, it's what we call time series forecasting. So most of you guys, I think maybe in your workplaces, I don't know if all of you do that, but there are some companies maybe where they want to forecast, okay, are we going to, let's see how our goods are going to perform, let's say, for the next 5 years. So there are actually models, statistical models that are used to forecast. That's why it's called forecasting, right? Like weather forecast. Weather forecast, they'll tell you the weather that is going to happen for the coming week, right? And you know that most of the time they will be accurate. So that's the same thing. So there are also what we call statistical models that are used to forecast, right? Like, for example, we've got what we call moving averages exponential smoothing, and seasonal analysis. So we are going to be talking that when we do time series. So generally, I just wanted to give you an overview, of how I will be conducting the lectures, the way that I was, conducting today. That's the way that I'll be doing it, right? So like I told you, information management will have a lot of illustrations for you guys to relate, and also I'll try to give a lot of examples so that you guys can see, okay, so this is where this concept actually work in real life. This is where this concept actually work in real life. Then now statistical analysis, business statistics or statistical techniques. We are now, it's a numerical module. So now I'll be taking you step by step and also giving you tips on how to answer certain things. So I'm not so sure if there are any questions. Maybe someone who just want to ask something regarding these two modules, or maybe something that I highlighted. Just feel free to unmute, or maybe you can just write something in the chat box there. All right, I'm seeing that there might not be any questions. All right, so guys, thank you so much, for tuning in. Definitely, I can guarantee you that you are going to be enjoying these lectures, and also guaranteed that you're going to pass. So I think, do we need a specific calculator for states? Yes, that's a very, very good question. All right, so let me write that. You need what is called a Casio that can write fractions. You need a Casio that write fractions, right? So as long as it's a calculator that can allow you to put fractions, right, then it's okay. If it doesn't put fractions, yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a problem, because we'll be dealing with fractions in this module also. So it will be easy if you can get is a financial calculator okay? I think it's okay, as long as it allows you.
No, please don't.
You do not.
Yeah, financial calculator is problem. It's a problem. That will be a big
okay.
for someone.
All right.
Rather just.
But Casio, it's a. Oh, okay. A Casio is a well-known calculator. If you just go in any stationery shop, CNA, I think, PNA, I think, even ShopRite and those supermarkets, you can get just go. If you're not sure, you can just ask someone to assist you to give you a calculator that can put in fractions. But when we are doing also the course, I'll show you another website. If you don't have the calculator, I'll show you another website that I use, right, to do calculations. It also allows you to put things, in fractions. So don't worry about that if you don't have the calculation. Is the exam for both modules multiple choice? No. Information management is going to be theory, right? So you're going to write it in essay, but states, it's going to be, multiple choice. So it will have 25 questions. So that's one good part about this module. So you won't have a lot of things asked, for states. So it will be 25 questions, multiple choice. So if you really master everything that we teach you in this course, I'm telling you, you pass that one with flying colors. So we be doing fractions. I am so scared. Don't worry. It's not like everything is fractions. Don't even worry. That's why I'm saying I'm here to simplify everything for you. The reason why we are talking about fractions is someone asked what type of calculator will be the best for this module. So I'm saying the one that allows you to put fractions, but it doesn't mean that we're going to deal with a lot of fractions. No. There's a section in probability. We're going to be dealing with fractions. So it will be easier for you if you have that calculator. But some of the other sections, don't worry about that. So don't even be scared. Like I told you, I'll be taking you all the way. All right. Another question, guys, before I give back, the platform to Mr. James.
All good on my side. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So guys, thank you so much. Someone saying this calculator is difficult. Will you please help us? Don't worry. I'm going to take you. That's why I'm saying I'll take you each and every step, right? So I know that this module, like I said, I know there are people that are not coming from a mathematical background. That's why I said I'm gonna take you as if we are doing elementary things. So don't even worry about how to use the calculator. So I'll be showing you, I'll be having mine, and sometimes I'll even, show you on my camera that press this button and so forth, or I can just share that online website that I was telling you of the calculator and showing you how to do it. So don't even worry about anything else. I'm going to be showing you step by step, and why we are doing it. I'll be explaining that and showing you also that this is the best way to do it. So don't worry that much.
We'll
All right.
appreciate that, Kula. Yo, I know I'm scared.
Okay.
At least James'
All
smile
right.
on the picture is making me feel better. I hope I hope it will be him
All
all
right.
the time. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. Remember, you guys, we are here for you. VUT, we've been operating, for a very long time. I've been, teaching, a lot of students for years now at VUT. So I normally take these lessons, right? Information and statistics. So you are not my first. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. So obviously we know the basic needs of a what? Of a client, right? And we try by all means to make sure that each and every one of you guys, you understand, right? And normally that's what we even do. If you know someone who came through to VUT and did these modules before, they will tell you that we have been taking people, from elementary to where they get to a place where they understand, the concept of whatever is being taught in the module. All right. So guys, thank you so much. I think let me leave this time to Mr. James. Thank you so much, Mr. James, for the meeting.
Okay, thank you, KD. I'm sure the students will be happy when they are working with you. So guys, thank you for coming through. I'll send you guys the recording for this lecture tomorrow in the morning. And I will also resend my banking details for the new students that did not work with us last semester. Those that have worked with us, you know the deal. You can make your payments in installments over 3 months. That's not a problem. Just make sure that if you cannot make a deposit by the end of July, make sure that you talk to me so that we can make the necessary arrangements for you so that you do not miss any of the classes. I'll see you guys, I believe, on Thursday for project management. Good night.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you. James, sorry, what is you said the lecturer for the operations management is? Is James gone? Yes.
As to say, the
Innocent.
operational management is next week, Wednesday.
Next week, Wednesday, are going to be Innocent.
Okay, and the lecturer name is?
Innocent.
Innocent.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
Innocent.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Have
Sure.
a great evening. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.